Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to do a video today on my toolbox. I kind of showed it in a little clip before, and somebody asked a question on how long it took to set up my tools the way that I do. So to give you some background, I was in the military for 6 years. I was in the Marine Corps, and I worked in avionics. So I worked on F-18 aircrafts, and on in the aircraft field, there's what they call FOD, or foreign object debris, foreign object damage, depending on who you ask. If you're a mechanic and you work in a garage and you drop a tool in a vehicle, I've actually found tools in one of my trucks that I took to a Ford dealer, and they left a socket in there. So that socket's fine, whatever. I told them that they left it, and I ended up returning it later on. Not that big of an issue. If you leave that same socket in an aircraft, specifically I worked on F-18 aircraft, so you know they're moving a lot faster and at higher Gs, and they have the ability to do a lot more maneuvers than your typical jumbo jet or something that's just flying around carrying passengers. That socket can quickly turn into a projectile. Not only can it injure the pilot themselves, but it can also damage some of the equipment that's inside of the cockpit, short something out, and then all of a sudden you have a multi-million-dollar aircraft and a pilot that's been through quite a bit of training that can be injured as well. One of the ways that they control that in the military is by doing what you call ATAF, or all tools accounted for. So, and mine isn't completely acceptable in the military, but this is definitely where I came up with how I wanted my toolbox set up. I don't want to be one of those people that lose your tools all the time and you end up missing a bunch of pieces and you can't find a certain socket you're looking for, or a ratchet, or whatever it is that you need. It always seems like when you need one tool, that's the tool that's going to be missing. So the idea for ATAF, or all tools accounted for, is when I worked in avionics, it's a 24-hour position basically. You have 24-hour coverage, you have a night shift and you have a day shift, and when the night shift comes in, they check the toolbox, make sure all tools are accounted for, and then the toolbox is locked up. The key is handed over to the next shift. The next shift, as soon as they come in, the first thing that they do is look at the toolbox, all tools accounted for, make sure everything is there, make sure there's no blank spots, and it's intentionally contrasting colors underneath so that you can easily tell when a tool is missing. And there's a logbook that you sign in the military, both outgoing and incoming shift, that makes sure that all tools accounted for, ATAF, was completed. If a tool is missing, it's actually a pretty big deal, and we've shut. There was one tool during my 6 years. There was one tool that was missing, and we shut down an entire squadron where that tool was last seen, and that squadron could not fly any aircrafts until that tool was found, which was eventually found. And obviously, this is a really good thing to do in the military because it prevents damage to aircrafts, also helps reduce risk to pilots. But in general, you know, this is really just a good way to keep track of your tools. And there's obviously, this isn't the best way to maximize the amount of tools that you can keep in your toolbox. There's some toolboxes out there that, you know, have way more tools than this. They cram them in. They're in different carry cases, so you can bring them out to whatever it is you're working on. And that's fine. You know, that works. I prefer to do it this way because it just makes sure, or it helps to ensure that I'm not going to lose any tools. And you still end up with randoms, right? Like, I don't even know where I got these tools from. I have a little toe wrench over there, a hitch ball wrench. So you still end up with randoms, and it's not completely organized. I do have some tools in here. You can see where I kind of started here. And I did this a while ago, so this is probably I think I bought this in like 2008, 2007. So this is a 15-year-old toolbox, and the first thing that I did was I bought these foam pieces, and it's just actually a backer board, like a contrasting poster board that you would buy for a science project. It's just a yellow piece that I cut up and added underneath each one. So it took some time to do this, but in those 15 years, I haven't lost a single tool. Actually, that's a lie. I did lose one tool. I lost this screwdriver here. and I actually found another one. It's the same that would have been there, another made in USA. So I was able to get that one on eBay, but I hate losing tools. You know, it seemed like every project that I was working on, I needed that tool. This isn't my entire toolbox. I do have, you know, some work to do. I actually bought this piece a couple years ago. So I actually bought it from Lowe's as soon as they got sold there. So, and I do have this tool. I was actually just using that. But yeah, I don't have everything done. But I have all the original Craftsman tools that I bought for this bottom roller. They're all in here, and they're not lost. So if you're looking for a good way to set up your toolbox, I highly recommend doing this shadow boxing. I think you could buy certain kits now where you can fit individual pieces in. I cut all of these out on my own, which took some time, but you know, if you're not losing tools, then it's time well spent, in my opinion. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.